Having too much money does not make him rich, but the one who has a big heart is the real rich. It means having a large heart. To be happy to see others happy and to be sad to see others sad. When your compassion awakens, understand that you are on the path to becoming truly rich. Even if you are living a physically miserable life. When you think of others, God is thinking about you. It may sound strange to say or hear this, but with this story you will be able to make it heartwarming. The story is as follows: that once Lord Krishna and Arjuna were touring the city. They were seeing that everything in the city was well. Just then he saw a Brahmin begging for alms. Seeing the Brahmin god begging, Arjuna felt pity for him. I thought, I should help the Brahmin, and he presented him a bundle full of gold coins. The Brahmin was very happy to receive a bundle of gold coins. Thanking Arjuna, he began to cherish dreams of a beautiful future. The Brahmin, who was lost in the dream world, was returning to his home, when he felt thirsty on the way. There was a well nearby, so keeping his bundle aside, the Brahmin started drawing water from the well. Then, unfortunately, a robber, who had been chasing him for a long time in search of an opportunity, came there and immediately fled with the bundle. The robber had fled before the Brahmin could do anything. After crying, the Brahmin started begging again. The next day, Shri Krishna and Arjuna again went on a tour of the city. This time again he saw the Brahmin begging for alms. Looking at him with surprise, Arjuna went to the Brahmin and asked the reason for begging. The Brahmin narrated all his sorrow. Arjuna was very sad to know the pain of Brahmin. This time Arjuna presented a precious Manikya with the help of the Brahmin. There was no place for the Brahmin's happiness by receiving the precious Manikya. Thanking Arjuna a lot, he reached his house, hiding Manikya from everyone's eyes. The Brahmin thought, it should be hidden in a place where it is absolutely safe. So he hid Manikya in an old pot kept in his house. He breathed a sigh of relief by keeping Manikya in a safe place. He was very tired of the day's running sun, so he sold horses and slept. At that time his wife had gone to get water, so he forgot to tell her this. Unfortunately, on the same day, the pitcher broke on the way to his wife's hand while bringing water from the river. So she returned and took the old pitcher and went to get water on the river. He did not know that Manikya was kept in this old pitcher, so as soon as he turned the pitcher upside down to wash it with water, Manikya came out and was swept away in the stream of the river. When the Brahmin woke up from sleep, he did not see the pitcher in the spot and started asking his wife. When the wife told her all the situation, she sat down holding her head, crying for his misfortune. The next day he again went out for alms. The next day, when Shri Krishna and Arjuna set out to visit the city, they again saw the Brahmin begging for alms in a poor state. This time Arjuna again went to him and asked the reason. Then the Brahmin told the whole story and cried the cry of his misfortune. Now Arjuna also thought that the fate of this Brahmin is bad, there is no happiness in his life. Then Shri Krishna came there and presented money to the Brahmin. Seeing this, Arjuna laughed and said, O Keshav, when my given currencies and beads cannot eradicate the misery of this misery, what good will it do with your 2 pays? Hearing this, Shri Krishna smiled and said, Let's go after it and see what happens. Now the Brahmin poor man was thinking on the way that 2 pays does not even provide food for a single person. I do not know why the Lord would have given me such a small donation. The Brahmin saw a small fish trapped in the fisherman's net, which was yearning to leave. The Brahmin felt pity for that little fish. The Brahmin thought that with these 2 money, nothing else has to happen, I will save the life of this fish. The Brahmin's compassion arose and he bought the fish from the fisherman and put it in his kamandal and left it in the river. The Brahmin was passing through the market with the fish when he saw something coming out of the mouth of the fish. It belonged to the same Manikya that he hid in the old pitcher. In the joy of getting Manikya, the Brahmin started shouting loudly, got it. Then it is a coincidence that the robber who had looted the Brahmin's currency was in the same market. When he saw the Brahmin shouting, he thought, surely the Brahmin has recognized him, so he is shouting. Now the Brahmins will complain about it in the royal court. Thinking this, the robber began to tremble with fear. The robber thought it was better to apologize to the Brahmin. The robber went to the Brahmin with folded hands, trembling with fear, and returned all the coins to him, apologizing. Seeing this, Arjuna bowed before Lord Krishna and said, Lord, what kind of leela is this? The work that I could not do with gold coins and rubies was done by the 2 money given by you. Lord Krishna said, O Arjuna, the only difference between that time and this time is the thinking of the Brahmin. When you gave madras and rubies to that poor Brahmin, he only thought about his happiness. But when I gave him $2, he thought of removing the other's sorrow. O Arjuna, it is the firm rule of this world that when a person thinks only about himself, his selfish thinking attracts selfish people towards him. On the contrary, when man thinks of removing the suffering of others, then this nature, including God, tries to remove his sufferings. It is the duty of every human being to always remember this spiritual law and continue to do the divine work of establishing happiness and harmony in the world. When we think